Hello everybody. I'm going to let y'all watch my mostly very old ladies here. And I'm going to make pretty much a part 3. You know, I made 2 parts of So You Think You're Coming to Our Place in an SHTF. Well, you know, when people truly believe they will descend on you in an SHTF situation. And really, even though the hurricanes have really kind of given us a microcosm of what it would be like in a long term uh, crash of some sort. Um, you know, I was reading comments about another person made a video on the same subject back in 2013, and it was a really shorter video than mine. But he's kind of he was a former Marine. He's a survivor of Hurricane Sandy, and um, he commented that a commenter on his video, so I'm trying to say, helped some of his neighbors, and he had banished others and had folks try to steal his generators twice. But he said, one thing that really struck me, and I can't believe the gall of some people, he said some drove to the police and made complaints that I wasn't helping them. The cops said I needed to be more tolerant. What the hell? I'm sorry, but oh my God, the cops didn't say, well, you know, he's not required to help you. It's his business. Instead of that, they used their resources to go to his house to tell him to be more tolerant. He didn't commit any crime, and they used, in the middle of Hurricane Sandy, they went to his house to tell him to be more tolerant? Seriously? I was floored by that one, absolutely floored. And somebody else said, you know, they said, what do I look like, 7-Eleven for the apocalypse? And, you know, are you coming with a year's worth of food, a rifle, 1,000 rounds of ammo or more? Are you ready and willing to work for everything you get, including the roof over your head? If not, you'll be turned away. If you show up expecting me to feed you for nothing, you'll not get a warm welcome. So that was kind of the gist of what a lot of people said. And I am of that same mindset. You know, we and others of like mindset will be called greedy, have been called greedy. I say the greedy and the lazy ones are the ones who expect you to give over all your hard work, your money, your food, and the skills it took to learn how to do all those things to survive to them, who have done nothing in spite of all your urgings to get ready for emergencies. How many times did they ignore you? How many excuses did they make? And the hands are out begging because now it's too late. They didn't listen. They didn't do what was right and what was responsible. And now they're begging off of you, and they're calling you greedy because you won't hand over everything that you work for. And it took your blood, sweat, tears, and finances to get for yourself. You know, we don't live in a utopia where everybody helps everybody, where live and let live even works a lot of the time. We live in where in crisis, humans might help others if they can, and they do in most short-term crises. We saw this. We saw this happen in the hurricanes. They helped as much as they could, but in a long-term crash-type scenario that just goes on and on and on, the non-peaceful folks. Now, somebody said to me the other day, well, I just wish that we could be, the peaceful folks ought to be able to live where they and how they want to live and blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, well, the non-peaceful folks outnumber them. And the non-peaceful folks are not going to let them. But the non-peaceful folks who would rather take than earn what they get outnumber the others, in my opinion. And they're going to come out in violent droves when they're really hungry and take what they want from you. Unless you can defend it, or unless you have hidden it well. And some of those may be your own kin. They may even be worse, though, because they believe you owe them by virtue of their relation to you. And why does family get a special pass? People say it's just heartless for you to turn away your family. Why makes family have any special place, honestly? Because family can be just as lazy, just as violent, just as selfish, and just as much user as a stranger. and they're going to eat your food and take it away from you just as much as a stranger would. And they may call others, just like a stranger might say, "Oh, he gave me a bag of rice. You can go get more stuff from him and call everybody else to come get your stuff, like you are the 7-Eleven." We don't prepare for emergencies for 10 people here. We prepare for the two of us, our livestock, and our pets. Food for two may last 6 months or more. You add 10 more people to that equation, you've cut it down to critical level. I mean, I'll just say this. If you don't have at least a week or more of food, water, fuel, pet food, whatever you use on a daily basis, you are negligent in tending to your family's needs. And in something like the recent hurricanes, that is not enough of a supply, period. If you land on someone else's doorstep uninvited to take advantage of them in that situation, you're putting them at risk. Should family put their family at risk? They're putting you at risk. Why are you the one who's a bad person? They say the worst thing to do if you want to stay under the radar in prepping is to make videos on prepping. Well, think about it this way. This is how I help my fellow man, my family, to tell them to get ready, how to get ready. This is my contribution to them. We're not what you call preppers per se. We're just homesteaders who get ready for emergencies and rainy days, and we realize that things don't always run smoothly, and we don't want to get caught with our pants down, so to speak. And my grandfather had a pantry of canned goods, and he was not a prepper, just a farmer with common sense who grew food and preserved what he grew. I'm just paying homage to that man who lived to be over 100 years old. He walked out there to his livestock and fields every day in a flannel shirt, overalls, and his pith helmet every day, no matter what the season, carrying a walking stick. He lived in a community of farmers, all of whom did the same as he did. He was, independent and physically fit folks. They minded their own business. They worked out in the sunshine every day. They put up food. They grew food. They raised livestock, and they preserved the same. I feel like I'm living an authentic life. Hopefully, Granddaddy would be proud of me. And being prepared is part of that. So, take personal responsibility for you. Never expect help from somebody else, and certainly not our government in a crisis. Everybody has his own crisis to deal with. And don't put others at risk. Take care of you. Being prepared is a huge part of that, and that's really about all I have to say. There are special situations. If you have elderly who cannot take care of themselves, that's a special circumstance. But most of these people are young, able-bodied people who just would rather have their $800 iPhones than put up an extra few cans of food. So that's my take on it. And, I don't see a special place for family, and that family are just human beings like everybody else. They're just as apt to use, and they're just as apt to be lazy and greedy as everybody else. So, you guys have a great upcoming week, and I will talk to you soon, and hopefully you kind of understand where I'm coming from. Bye.